Welcome back, trainers, and we're going to be taking a look at Gothitelle in the Willpower Cup. So we're going to be pairing it up with Medicham as well as Galarian Rapidash. Yes, I love to use that Galarian Rapidash. And we're going to be having Charm on it. As soon as I start recording, I start hearing all kinds of alarms outside, and it's all kinds of fun. It just snowed, but I could just hear it now. Probably a lawnmower here soon, too. Alright, so if you do enjoy my videos, give it a thumbs up. And Rapidash is getting charmed out of here. So bringing in the Gothitelle. So we have Charm, Rock Slide, and Psychic. I mean, that's all you're going to really want to run. I suppose you can go with Future Sight if you're thinking you're going to actually get to that. Although Gothitelle can take a hit. Okay, I enjoyed it. It was nice. Made a little bit of an investment here. This is the first time I'm going to be using it. I was looking for other Charm users, and I have a few lying around, but this one fits the bill a little bit better regarding being able to take hits. Alright, so what do we got going on? So as far as this Medicham is concerned, it is going to be my non-XL. We are going to be using our XL in a minute, and we are actually going to be using one with Dynamic Punch as well as Ice Punch, and of course, Counter. And then we're going to be going with the same moves on the Rapidash. I don't know why I said it was getting stabbed by Body Slam last video, okay? Or the last time I covered the Rapidash. Anyway, let's see what we have going on here. So met with a Medicham. We really don't have anything to worry about here. Ice Punch, let's see how much this does here. Nah, no problem at all. And they saw that damage and retreated into their Malamar. So we're going to be doing super effective damage with the Charm. Now, Charm is obviously not as threatening when it's not getting stabbed. But as you can see, it is still doing a lot of damage, especially if the Pokemon can take hit after hit and kind of just keep on trucking here. So we are going to be bringing in the Medicham to go ahead and counter down this Malamar. Let's see if we can get it, and taking them out. Beautiful. So we are still using the regular one here. We haven't swapped it out. It's going to be probably within the next couple of battles that when I did start realizing it. Alright, so we're going to be getting farmed down by the Mandibuzz. We have two Pokemon that can go up against this. Except for both of them are going to be taking a decent amount of damage. The Gothitelle, low end, is going to be taking super effective from Dark. And as far as the Rapidash, the thing can't take a hit, let's be real. It's going to be able to spam its charge moves and hit very hard, but it just simply can't take a hit. Being part Psychic, it's still going to be taking a decent amount of damage here with that Fairy typing. So getting to the Body Slam spam, gotta love this dang thing. It's so incredible. They bring in their Medicham, they back out. We're going to see a lot of backouts for this video here. Alright, moving it on to our next one. What are we going to be met with? A Mew. Okay, this is a little interesting here. Not really digging it, because their Shadow Claw is going to be doing a decent amount, and you never know what they're going to be throwing at you here. So I do decide to let it go. It is going to be a Surf. Those Shadow Claws are going to add up and almost taking us out here, but we're definitely going to shield them up and go for the Rock Slide and get a shield out of them as well. Now, the unfortunate part is we're going to have them farm us down here. They're going to be coming out of this with a decent amount of energy. So we're going to bring in the Medicham. We're still using the non-XL one here. So let's see how we take this Wild Charge and bringing us down to about half. Still holding on to one shield. We got the Rapidash in the back. Bring it in their own Medicham. Now, here's the thing. The other one that we're going to use does have Dynamic Punch and Ice Punch, so having Psychic in this situation actually helped me out more so than having Dynamic Punch, so thank goodness we didn't quite switch it out yet. So they're going to be bringing in an Umbreon, going straight for the Mega Horn, and doing a lot of damage with that super effective damage non-stab, going for a Psychic. Now, I was a little confused as to why they're going for Psychic here. I don't know, maybe they just have one move on their Umbreon, as it is kind of expensive to buy that secondary move, but they are going to be going for another Psychic here. If they did have Foul Play, we would be taking a little bit more damage, so there is that to think about. But nonetheless, we're going up against that and going for a Body Slam on the Medicham. Looks like I was trying to swap, but they're going to be locking us in here with their Ice Punch, or... Okay, they really like using Psychic, don't they? So they go for the Psychic here. Maybe they have Power Up Punch, who knows? But we take the win here. Didn't know if that was going to be enough, but the non-XL is taking the win for us here. Moving it on to our next one. And the Medicham from the XL and the non-XL that I do have the same combat power, so we're going to have to just take a look at the moves. You'll see Dynamic Punch. So we're going up against a Raichu. We're going to let this first Thunder Punch go through as the Charm just digging away at this Raichu, and I decide to obviously shield this up, win this swap, and then we're going to have a charge move ready to go, but they're going to be swapping out themselves, bringing in a Mandibuzz. We're going to go for the Rock Slide here, and I think we're going to be swapping out into our Medicham. We don't want them to get any more farm, and we can do a decent amount of damage with that health that we do have on Gothitelle with that charm as well. And Medicham doesn't have a bad matchup, so we are using the XL1 now, and I do believe I go for the Dynamic Punch. I think it's going to be a little bit more efficient to just go for 2 Ice Punches here, but we're just going to go straight for this anyways, and it's still going to be doing a decent amount. Yeah, that's just a little bit more than an Ice Punch would be doing, so yeah, definitely more efficient to go for this here. So now we're going for the right one, taking them out. Okay, great, winning that matchup, bringing in their Medicham. And since we don't have Psychic, it doesn't really matter that we can't build up to the Dynamic Punch, because this is going to be doing more anyways. And we're able to barely get it off, bringing in the Gothitelle, and they're unfortunately going to be able to farm us down with that Medicham, bringing in the Rapidash, doing a decent amount of damage with that Fairy Wind that's farming up a ton of energy, and hitting me with an Ice Punch here, knowing that I potentially have to hold on to that last shield because we don't know what's quite in the back yet. And they're shielding it up. I'm wondering, okay, well, what the heck is in the back here? Ice Punch is going to be bringing us very low. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to use it here and hopefully farm them down. And unfortunately, that's not happening. So Rapidash, what you going to do here? Oh, we know what's in the back. Sorry. Spacing it out. Okay. Well, I'm not going to do that commentary over. It's the Raichu. There you go. We take that win. Rapidash. Let's get it. Next battle, we're going to be met with a Victini. So this is not great for our team because it is going to be resisting everything as far as the quick moves are concerned. So I do swap into our Medicham because it is going to be able to just absorb everything. And they hit me with an Overheat, which is getting Stab. I don't know if they hit all those bubbles there or what, but damn, Medicham, just taking the hits. Let's go. And they go for Create, which is going to lower their stats. And they're bringing in a Meditang. I was looking into investing in one of these. I do actually have one on deck that I could use, but I was like, probably just better off using a Metagross. Actually, when I did go over to PV Poke, it did look like it was ranked a little bit better. That's not to say this isn't great here, because it is going to be a little bit of a damper on my team here, seeing that that Steel's super effective to my Fairy, and well, we're not doing very effective damage with our Charm. So something goes on here. Esport ready game makes them freeze, or maybe they stop tapping. I don't know, whatever the case may be, but you did clearly see what was going on there, right? So we do have a little bit of an advantage on that end since they were not able to get to their charge move. Hitting the Rock Slide, swapping into the Galarian Rapidash, and going for a, not quite a combo breaker, but, you know, a very spammy charge move right away with that Rapidash. And bringing in a Sableye, we're going to be going for the Mega Horn. So folks, I got my Segas, I already told you, and I have a cartridge that plays a ton of games. It's crazy. It's like 1,000 games in one. Some of them don't work. I need to buy the attachments like the 32X that goes on top of the Sega. The Master Drive games do work. I played Duke Nukem. Holy crap, I'm a fan of Duke Nukem, and it looks good, but it's horrible to play on the Sega with that controller. Just insane. And I'll make this brief here, but as I was browsing through the games, just, you know, going through nostalgia lane, one that I came across was Rocket Knight Adventures, and my gosh, that game sure was ahead of its time. It's still extremely fun to play, and it looks great. So Rocket Knight Adventures, if you're interested. Anyways, enough about my Sega stuff here. Taking out that Drapion, and they're bringing in their Medicham. We're able to get to the Ice Punch. I was contemplating trying to get to the Dynamic Punch, but would have wasted our energy and got countered down. So at this point, what we're going to do is bring in the Gothitelle, and we can let this all go here. Ice Punch, no problem at all. What else are they going to hit us with? Psychic, not very effective. And Dynamic Punch, we don't need to waste our shields here. Now, technically, we could preserve our health on the Gothitelle, but we're going to go ahead and let it go. And they're swapping. What was that they just bring into battle? Taking a lot of damage from Charm. A Sableye, great. So we're going to go ahead and bring in our Rapidash. Now, we have to kind of build an illusion as if we're going for the Mega Horn. But there's going to come a point where I think they realize they just know they have to shield up. So we go for the Mega Horn. Wait, or do they just let this go? Never mind. Never mind. Wrong battle. And we take that win with the Rapidash. Moving it on to the next one here. Met with a Medicham, and I just kept on smiling every time we seen this. This team took me up about, like around 200 points, right? So we're doing all kinds of test teams over here. And we'll just leave it at that. Okay, I'm not even going to go down that route. So they're in with their Umbreon, we're in with our Medicham. They swapped into that, we bring in Medicham, taking them out with Dynamic Punch. And why go with Dynamic Punch? Because there's a little bit more Dark types than Psychic types, and I just found it to just be more useful. Having Psychic would be great, but there's not a situation where I'm thinking, man, I really, really need Psychic. And as I say that, their Medicham hits me with Psychic. This is great, but I still don't mind having Ice Punch and just going to town with this. I mean, it's not too big of a deal. Alright, so we're getting a shield out of them, which is just fantastic. Bringing in the Gothitelle, knowing we can let all this go here. We're going to go ahead and let that Ice Punch go. And farming them down with Charm. What is in the back? It's an Obstagoon. And do they stay here? It looks like they were going to hit back out at this point. Let's see. I think, yeah, they are going to. They kind of just stopped tapping. Maybe they threw their phone. Who knows what the case is. But they're backing out, and we take the win. And we're going to keep it moving here. Leading with Gothitelle the entire time. Met with a Tyranitar. This is insane. Let's go. Great lead here. And they're going to stay while their Smackdown's doing a ton. Retreating after getting off a couple of those Smackdowns. We got to remember that. Bringing in a Cresselia. So we do have Medicham, which is going to be obviously just demolishing Tyranitar. So there's really no point in swapping or going anywhere with the Gothitelle here. So we're going to shield this up. This is going to be one of the first times I do go up against Cresselia with this thing because I've never used it before. And I wasn't quite sure how much we were going to take. Shielding the first one, letting this one go. And it doesn't really do that much. I'm telling you, Gothitelle is kind of a tank to some degree. I mean, it can take a hit. And then we do resist the Psychic, of course. And they're going to be bringing in Sableye to farm us down with that super effective Shadow Claw. Well, we do a bunch of damage with our Charm and bringing in the Rapidash. We're going to be taking a lot of damage from this foul play. Medicham does not really want to go up against this. So here's the matchup that I was thinking about baiting. Okay, so the Illusion. Okay, so we got off the Body Slam. Now at this point, I think they know that this is Body Slam too, and they just know they have to keep it alive with this health here. So they shield it up anyways, which is what I would have done too. Alright, so they're hitting me with that. We swap so they can't farm anymore. Bringing in Medicham and unfortunately not getting to the Ice Punch here. And we're definitely not farming them down. Foul Play's doing a decent amount. We kind of need to get rid of them as soon as possible. Going for the Ice Punch. And I'm thinking Tyranitar only got off a couple of Smackdowns. I don't think it's going to be able to get to Crunch. And we take the win. Let's go. Moving it on to our next battle. We're going to be met with the Deoxys. This could be some big trouble for a lot of Pokemon in the Willpower Cup. But for Gothitelle, it's no problem at all. But here's the thing. I think we actually let everything go. So we will be losing this matchup. So they hit me with Psychic here. We go for the Rock Slide. And at this point, they farm up a bunch of energy. And I'm thinking, yeah, they're probably just going to go for like a Psycho Boost or something like that. And in which case, they're going to lower their attack massively. So we're just going to go ahead and let it go. And that's fine. They've used a shield. We'll bring in Medicham to farm them up. What at worst? What, Thunder? Thunderbolt, I mean? That's, you know, their attack's been dropped by 2 stages. So it's just kind of tickling us here. And we're going to come out of this battle with a whole lot of energy. So this is definitely going to be a Psycho Boost, getting rid of their Deoxys. And then we also have the Rapidash in the back here. So definitely could have won that if we did shield up. And they have a... Was that a Machamp? That's so good. So we're going Dynamic Punch, getting the last shield and immediately swapping, and they're bringing in a Muck here. So we're going to go ahead and go for Mega Horn, which is not getting stabbed, but it is also going to be doing a decent amount. Look at that damn damage. Rapidash doesn't joke around. So sure, it can't take a hit. It's taking super effective, so you got to give it a break here. Plus, it's in the Great League. But that damage is insane. And then we bring in our Medicham, counter them down. They back out. Like I said, we're going to get a lot of those. And we're taking the win, moving it on to our next opponent. We're going to be met with a Claydol here. So our backline, I mean, Rapidash doesn't mind seeing this, and Gothitelle doesn't either. We do need to look out for Shadow Ball, which is going to be essentially one-shotting us at this point here after those quick moves. I mean, that is insane. So they're going for Earth Power. Great, no defense debuff. Going for a Psychic because, well, we have a chance of lowering their stats, or at least their defense, right? No defense drop there. They're going to be able to get to a charge move first, which is fine. We bring them down low enough. So we'll just go ahead and bring in our Medicham to counter them down here. And they don't even get a quick move through. Bringing in a Mandibuzz, unfortunately, with a flying quick move. So super effective to our Medicham. Going for the Ice Punch here. And then swapping into our Rapidash. So we just have to hope that there's something in the back that we can handle to some degree with this, or something. And it is going to be a Hitmonchan. Oh yeah, that's definitely something we can counter here. If I can speak, for crying out loud. All right, let's go. Body Slam Jam on the Hitmonchan. How do you like that? Oh wow, the disrespect from the Rapidash. It looked away while it was getting hit. Did you see that? Did you see that disrespect? It keeps doing that too when I'm charging up and it knows it's going to KO. It's like it just does its taunt. Anyways, next battle. This is kind of an interesting matchup here. Sableye, super effective to our Psychic type, as well as its Dark typing, super effective. So I'm going to have to shield this up. And this is what you do if you're leading with Gothitelle and you're met with a Sableye. Just farm them down. Shield up once, farm down, don't throw. Hold that energy for whatever they bring in next. So this is actually going to do a decent amount of damage to the Medicham here. So let's see if they shield it up. They do. Great, getting a shield. Fantastic. And they're not going to be able to counter us down, so they're going to be forced to throw an Ice Punch, I would assume is what it's going to be. Not enough to take us out. They're getting one extra counter in there. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and bring in our Rapidash. I guess we could bring in our Medicham, but I think this is still going to be alright here. Going for a body slam and getting a shield. Okay, so this is an indication there's okay. They have a Phyllis in the back, so I definitely should have built up to Mega Horn, but whatever. I'm in a comfortable position here with the Medicham at full health, basically. Well, at full health. We shield this up. It was a little bit soon for Dark Pulse, but I do it anyways. I don't really care. It's fine. And they have that Medicham, of course, and we have all this energy. They go for Psychic. There you go. That's another reason why you may want to run it on your Medicham as opposed to Dynamic Punch. They're both going to be okay, but Psychic might be a little bit more useful for you. And another back out. Let's go. Moving it on to our next battle here, folks. What are we going to be met with? A Cresselia. Okay, this is technically good. Gothitelle is going to be able to take those hits. The thing about Rapidash is, sure, we have Mega Horn, which is going to be doing a ton. But at the same time, we can't just let Moonblast go like that. It's going to basically one-shot us, right? So Gothitelle's just absorbing it, and then when it comes down to Medicham, you don't want to go up against Cresselia, obviously. Alright, so we're looking good here. We can let this one go as well. Now, the only thing I have to worry about is them sniping me. Exactly, so they swap into their Claydol, which would have almost taken us out. I don't know what Gothitelle's going to do for us anymore, but it's still there. And we're landing the Mega Horn and then farming them down with Fairy Wind. That was so satisfying. And they still have 2 shields. Bringing in the Cresselia. And we're going to go for a Body Slam to get rid of them here. Unfortunately, not enough. That we take them out with a quick move, so that's perfect. And they have a Mandibuzz in the back. Not going for Mega Horn. Let's just do as much damage as we can. So yes, they do have Air Slash for their quick move, which is super effective to the Medicham. Gothitelle is basically out for the count with 1 HP. So what am I going to do here? They still have 2 shields. I swap into Gothitelle to try to get a charm through, but I don't even land that damn thing. So we bring in the Medicham, which is the only thing we have left, and what we're going to have to do is throw no charge moves. We're just going to counter down. Now, if you did have Power Punch, you go for that, because you want to vamp up your attack, right? But we don't have that, and it's just going to be pointless to throw a charge move because they still have 2 shields. So we're just countering them down and taking the win. So it wasn't like they were flexing. They just didn't have an opportunity to use it at the end. So there you have it. Look at that, 5-0, bringing our points up, looking good. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care, trainers.
Sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!
Touch the deck. This is the best day